everyone, I'm Awele from Best State, and today we're going to be talking about off-plan apartments. And right here with me I have Mr. Samuel Moma, the MD CEO of Mirror Homes Investment Limited.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here with you, sir.
Yeah, great to have you here.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Samuel, can you tell us a bit about yourself, your company, and the project that you have going on here?
Okay, so I'm Samuel Moma by name. I was born here in Lagos, but from Delta State. So I started out as a marketer before I went into real estate development. I've been in the real estate sector industry for a minimum of about 7 years. So we have about 7 landed properties, let's say 6 in Lagos, 5 in Ekpe, 1 in Lekki, 1 in Ogun State, and 1 in Oyo State. So this is our first building project. However, that shouldn't scare anyone because we are working 100% with a construction company with wealth of experience in building. Their work speaks for them in Osaka, London, Victoria Island, Bagada, Ikota as well. So they even build around here in Chevron, Lekki, Lagos. So yeah, the experience checks. So yeah. So we notice that there's a lacuna, there's this gap. What you find mostly in Chevron are duplexes and terraces. Just take a look at this estate. All we have here is terraces and duplexes. There's absolutely 0 apartment here. So we're like, okay, this is an amazing opportunity for smart people to key into, wherein you get apartment because the demand for short lets is amazing and skyrocketing. Just check out Dirty December. It speaks for itself. So that's why we're tapping into these luxury apartments that look more like an hotel. That's what we're trying to achieve here. For smart people, wherever you are in the world, you can begin to make rental income, but short-let income does better. So that's the drive towards Chevron and like, okay, let's start with this where smart people can make money, or if you want to live here, amazing as well.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
So for the viewers watching that don't know what off-plan apartments are, can you tell us what off-plan apartments?
Okay, definitely. So let's take a walk. So as we're talking, you get to see what an off-plan apartment looks like because many a times people actually get it wrong. You know, when you say an off-plan apartment and they've not even started anything, you just see sand on the site. But actually, you should have been able to achieve something before you expect people to begin to invest their money. Yeah. So now, generally, off-plan apartments, why buy an off-plan apartment, right? If I got you correctly. You know, one of the amazing things I love about off-plan is that you get to tweak the design. Okay, you could tell the developer, oh, I would love my finishing done in a particular way, or I would love for you to give it to me as carcass. Because many a times when you finish buying an apartment, you still get to spend up to 20 million naira just to do the finishing. But with off-plan, you can just tell the developer, okay, give it to me at carcass, you get some discount, and you say, okay, let's tweak the design. Another benefit is that you actually get to spread your payment. You don't need to break the bank. For instance, now I have 80 million naira. I want to buy an apartment. So rather than just take my 80 million and pay once, you get to do it on an installment. Then you get to invest in something else with your funds. Then you make your profit. At the end of the day, you may still end up keeping a huge sum of that money if you get the right investment. So it gives you room for that flexibility, and you're also able to monitor and tweak 1 or 2 things within your apartment. But however, if you have your full money and you're like, oh, I'm ready to move in immediately, then probably when it's finished, you can buy. So it has its advantages, it has its disadvantages, because there's always this issue of many people not delivering. They collect money and they run.
It's a very, very big problem.
Yeah.
Oh my land, I buy 20 plots of land from him. I don't see anything.
Yeah.
So you have to do your background check. Like for instance, someone bought a unit just this week.
Yeah.
They did all their background check. They checked the government title. They checked about the building approval. Everything checks, and we signed that okay, you have a delivery period of let's say August 2025. So we know that we owe you an apartment, and the clients get to pay on installment. So and they keep monitoring the progress of the work. So you need to do your background check to ensure you do not get burned and to see how serious the company is in terms of the construction work going on.
You mentioned checking the paperwork, coming to site. So aside checking out the documents, what else can investors look out for when choosing an off-plan apartment to buy?
Okay, now it's more like doing a background check on where the company that is developing the project, checking out their track records, and also you need to know, okay, are they building this house themselves or is it contracted to a construction company? Many times people just, build themselves, employ one engineer without a current seal, and at the end of the day, there's one issue or the other. But when a real estate firm, because many of real estate developers are actually not engineers. I'm not an engineer. So you need to ensure, they are not just getting one builder, one engineer. So they're working with a construction firm with a track record of experience. You know that, okay, these guys they mean serious business, that they need to deliver and not just deliver. They need to deliver quality. So that also matters a lot. Also, the location is very important.
Yes, definitely.
Where is it located? How accessible is the property? Do people live there? Well, take a look. 100% residential. So location checks out. And given that it's an already residential estate, it's not a place where you can just start construction and abandon. Even the estate themselves, we mount pressure on you to deliver your estate because it's going to make the estate look messy. They don't want this. So
and
they
can't build indefinitely.
You have a time frame to deliver, and they ensure that, there is a standard within this estate. You need to meet up with the estate standard. So all these matters, the location of the property, the background check of the company. Many people don't pay attention to this, but I tell you for free, it's super important. Check out companies that do not have the track records of completion. You would see that most likely it's just one builder that is in charge of the project. Then there are always issues of mismanagement, debt and all, but this is a serious company with current seal, whose license is on the line with the government. So they know that everything they do here have to check. I can't even tell them I want inferior materials because my current seal is on the line. So as a result of that, best practices is what is being employed throughout the construction process.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So here I can see that you've gotten to the second floor of this apartment building, which looks really, really great. So can you take us through the process, the construction process, of these apartments? How did you start? How did you get to this point? And what's the project going to be like, when it's finished?
Okay, thank you very much. So actually the first stage was we had to do soil tests to determine the level of piling that needs to be done. So after we done our soil test, then we come up with our construction drawings. Then we took them to the Lagos State government. That's Lagos State Building Control Agency, LABSCA. So
you have
a building approval file number because the building approval is actually done in phases. So at each phase, the government comes and do their quality check. So the moment we wouldn't move to site until we got the building approval file number. And for you to get it, you need to submit your M&E drawings, that's mechanical, electrical, construction drawing as well. So once they see that everything checks out, you get your building approval file number. Then you still have LASPA, that's planning. Then you still have safety and some other smaller agencies. Then
you have to go through all these agencies and approvals before you
can actually start. You can start with one or two, then while on it, then the other ones can now come on board. So at each phase, then from the soil test, we figured that, okay, we need to go like 15 meters deep. So we went down by 15 meters. Then we have about 97 power points.
97 power points.
So piling took us almost over 6 months, almost a year, because there was actually a building here that we demolished. And before even demolish, you still need to get your demolition permit from the Lagos State government. So at some point, it will take a while breaking the previous pile that was there before you can now establish a new one or put one beside it. So it took us almost roughly a year to do the piling. So for people doing high rise, because we are going 4 floors.
4 floors.
The 4th floor is a pent floor. So we're going to have a rooftop amenities like a rooftop pool and a rooftop lounge. They're one penthouse. We're only going to have 11 units here so that it's not so choked up. And on each floor, 3 units. Okay, so just imagine a full plot of land, 600 square meter, and all you have on a floor is just 3 units. So that's to ensure that we have enough space within our rooms and we do not build boxes.
Land size here, like it's like
around 673 square meters, just slightly above a plot of land.
That's incredible. So you're able to build this on just above a plot of land.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So that's why we have to go up. Then we have slabs, 3 floors, because the building specification by the Lagos State government for the whole of Chevron is actually 3 floors. So that's why the 4th floor is more like an open roof and a penthouse, because they're not meant to actually go 4 floors. In the whole of this axis, you're meant to do 3 floors. So the 4th floor is amenities, then an open roof for a penthouse.
Great. So how about parking? How are you doing the parking?
So the ground floor is the designated car park. Then this is also super spacious as well. So there will be 2 cars on the side, then a minimum of 10 cars can actually take here. So there's going to be a drive-in, then at the middle of the ground floor there's going to be a drive-out. So we're trying to construct it in such a way it can actually take more cars. It can take up to 16 cars, but we reduce the number. That way you don't have to call your name, but hey, John Doe, please come and repark.
I see. So you can easily go in.
You at the back, you can just come out. You at the front, you can come in from the middle. So the middle space can take an additional car. However, we're not going to allow cars to park there so that you don't need to disturb anybody to drive in and drive out. And besides that, there are going to be CCTV here, a security house here. So that security will always be on ground to ensure that people do the right parking. So there's no, just call, park anyhow. Absolutely not allowed. Security will be there to guide you. If you are the one coming in first, please go to the front so the next person can park. And this way, nobody inconveniences anyone. And there are 2 staircases and an elevator. In fact, that's the work they are doing on site today. They are completing the elevator work for it to get high to the decking of the 2nd floor. By this week, they'll complete the entire form work for the 2nd floor. Then by next month, we'll start the iron, that's the reinforcement, iron work for the decking. So by February, we'll be done with the decking of the 2nd floor. Then the work is going to be faster because we'll now begin the block work for the 1st floor and the decking of the 3rd floor simultaneously. We have a delivery timeline of August. So when it's finished, I don't know if this is clear enough, there's a picture there that shows what we want to do. It's a 21st century modern house, modern finishing.
The design is really nice.
If you see the design, I'm sure you will love it. And just check out, we're using marine boards. Many companies actually use wood for their pillars and for their decking, but all we're using is marine boards, and trust me, they're super expensive. The construction company refused to go less, because this is what I say when I tell you that it's best to work with construction companies with a lot of experience, because that way their license is on the line, so they won't allow anything substandard, like we must use marine board, because that way it makes the work smooth, neat and tidy. Just imagine we've not even done plastering on the pillars or anything.
I can see that.
And they already look smooth. Now imagine what it's going to begin to look like upon completion. And we've sold a lot. We only have 3 units left.
I can see that. It looks really good. So just looking at the timeline once again, we talked about, it started from the approvals, the soil test, the piling
took almost a year.
So after the piling,
we did the foundation, the German flowers, you people call it. With the power caps first, then the foundation. If you check, you see this level, it's still going to go higher when we are done. We're still going to plaster everywhere. It's still going to go higher because the apartment is higher, but for now this is lower until we are done. It's still going to go higher everywhere. And if you check our foundation, it's almost getting to the windows of some of our neighbor. So there is no fear of solidity or any problem of like, Lekki and flood. There will be absolutely zero water within apartments here.
Yeah. So and recently we've had some issues of, I think a few years back, when in terms of like building collapse, where an apartment, they went above
Exactly
the number of floors. So can you talk about how the guidelines are regards, what you can build, and how the foundation affects what you can build?
Yeah, so that's why I said, when we started, the first stage is the soil test.
Yes.
So from your soil test, you already have your building specification. That is, for you to, the government says we can't go more than 3 floors. So these are the number of power points that we need to achieve this, and this is the depth of what we need to do. Okay. So once you have that, you stick to that. But there's always this challenge of sales coming. More clients are coming. That this is the requirement.
Yes, this is the
limit.
Requirement.
Yeah. This is the limit. But you now start going higher. That way you are risking collapse. And then again, there's this problem of many people won't actually do a soil test. They just start building. They just start doing their part. You need to do a soil test, then carry out your experiments in your lab. Then it's going to tell you, they plot all these things on charts, and they'll tell you, for you to go to this number of floors, this is the total number of piles that you need, this is the depth that you need. It gives you all that information. Then when you are now done with your foundation, there's what we call the pile load test. You do that as well. You followed every step of the way. And we have pictures, videos to show all that we did.
Amazing.
Which is the required standard by the Lagos State government. So all this is to curb against this issue of demolition by the government or building collapse. Sometimes though it has been tempting trying to go an extra floor, because I'll tell you for free, you still see 5 floors in Chevron.
So people actually exceed the limits.
Yeah, wow. The government is not ridiculous when they tell you to go, because they know what here can hold. So we just do our best to stick to the limit. So Fantastic. We do not have any issues with anyone.
Well done. So for a project like this, many people are going to be looking at it for rental income. So can you tell us how much can an investor expect to earn from rental income, say annual rent, and from short lets, with your apartments?
Okay. Well, I would advise personally, given the quality of what we bring in here, that one should consider short let or to live here personally, because you'll be doing yourself a disservice by putting it out on rental. Let's take, for instance, in terms of rental, you'll be making 5 to 6 million naira max annually. 5 million, let's say, max annually from
rental
rental
how many
income.
Bedrooms?
For two bedroom
apartments. Okay.
You should make up to 5 million. Then if it's for the 3 bedroom, that's where the 6 million naira comes in. But in terms of short lets, you'll be making between 80,000 to 120,000 naira on a daily basis, depending on the quality of your interior. And we're already taking care of the quality of the environment and the house and the lounge and the pool, which people would love for short let. Then and elevators and
there be 27 power.
Yeah, 247 electricity.
Fantastic.
So it's going to be fully serviced. So let's now assume we go for the minimum 2 bedroom, 80,000 naira per night.
Yeah.
That's the worst case scenario. Yeah. And in a year, 365 days, you are only able to lease your short lets, because there are good days, there are bad days. Yeah. Don't let no one deceive you on that. You're only able to get 50% of bookings in a year. So when you do the math, 80,000 naira by 180, that should give you about
180 days, Abi.
180 days. That should give you about 14.4 million naira. Then let's say you do expenses of 500,000 naira monthly. You should, because you are gonna have to have a staff, then have people come clean it up. So let's say that would be 6 million naira. Then let's take out 400,000 for miscellaneous. So take out 6.4, you have left with about 8 million naira on an annual basis.
So with a 2 bedroom apartment, someone can expect to make about 8 million naira or more.
In a bad year, 7 to 8 million naira. Then in a very good year, in fact, 30 December alone, you can 30 is to me is 30 November, December, January. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, so they can charge a premium during, they can charge extra during those periods.
Trust me, there are still many diasporans in Nigeria as we speak, because that's what we do, real estate, and many of them are still around, still investing in real estate daily. Because we find them in Lekki, Koyi, and Aja access. So yeah, so shortlets is best. You should be expecting a minimum of 7 to 8 million in a bad year. Then in a very good year, you should be making at least 10 million on an annual basis. So imagine just do that for about 5 years. Then if you like, you just sell off your apartment. That's cool money. Now imagine you have 1 unit here, 1 unit there. You're making good money, retirement money. You can retire early and be relaxed. That's where Offplan pays you, in the sense that you don't have to wait 10 years to save up and buy an apartment. You could actually pay on installment.
Fantastic.
And another thing about investment is the moment you start, you just see doors just begin to open for you to make more money, to be able to complete your project. Just like someone who wanted to buy a cheap land, okay, go for this one. Say, I'm afraid. Don't worry, just make your initial deposit. Then you just
that
see
motivation.
It comes. Then you start thinking, how do I make more money to meet up? Then the inflow comes in, because that way you already have an investment mindset.
Yes, you have that goal that you're working towards.
Yeah,
fantastic. So since 2023, we've seen a massive, decline in the state of the economy. We have high inflation,
skyrocketing inflation.
Yes, and the depreciation of our currency. 2023, dollar was going for dollar to naira was like 700. It's about 700 naira to a dollar, and then now we are looking at 1,700 naira.
Yeah.
So much has changed in such a short period of time, right? So how would you say these changes in the economy have affected the real estate industry, have affected construction in general, and even your projects?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would say for those of us into building, definitely it has greatly impacted us. But those that are majorly into land and services, it has greatly helped them, because while it's affecting us, it's putting more money in the hands of Nigerians in diaspora to buy more lands and also to buy into off-plan projects. Though the first direct impact of the inflation, we didn't actually feel it, because at the time we'd already stocked up in terms of materials, cement, we bought in bulk, and as a result of that, we weren't really affected. But the second impact, then we began to feel it. So what that does is that it makes us to increase our price. Let's take, for instance, when we started this project, it was selling for about 60 million naira. Today is almost 100 million. Actually, it ought to even sell more, because the inflation affected the price of goods by a minimum of 100%.
Can you give us an example?
Iron was then 500,000. Today is about 1,070,000 naira as of today. Cement was between 4.2 to 4.5. Today, cement rose up to 10,000. Then it now fell to about 8,000 plus. So we've had almost 100% increment in the cost of construction, which has impacted in the prices of the houses. However, we didn't raise it so high, because that way people may not be able to buy. Let's take, for instance, we only want selling below the market value here. And one of the reasons is we reduced our profit, and also because we already had some materials on ground. So that also helped. So we ensure that our clients can still have their resale value. But the people buying the same apartment at 100, 110, 120 million, what does that do to them? It makes it difficult for them to actually resell once these projects are completed. So that's the difference between Mirror Homes and other companies. We put our client interests as well, only that it affects our profit factor, but it helps investors, because we believe investors are taking a risk in buying this project. So we have to ensure that they are able to make good money in terms of return on investment.
So according to what you're saying now, right, people who bought this apartment when it just started for like 60,
Yeah,
they will be able
exactly.
to sell at maybe 100
a minimum.
plus.
So imagine our first subscriber, guess what, is still paying till now. He bought at 60 million naira. Upon completion, he can sell for what? A minimum of 100 million naira.
Wow.
Because at the moment it's selling for 80 to 90 million. So by that time it's selling for a minimum of 100, 110, 120. He's even making more money than us in the project. So we are just, okay, this must stand out so that it can help our brand to go into further building projects. Thank you.
Fantastic. So you've talked a lot about the flexibility of payment that this project offers. So can you give us a bit more detail on, what's the payment plan, how much do investors need to get started?
Okay. So in terms of payment plan, we have a maximum duration of 12 months. However, it also actually have been reduced to 6 months because we only have about 7 to 8 months to complete this project. We are looking at a maximum duration of August for 100%
So August
delivery.
2025, yes.
This August 2025 for 100% delivery.
Okay.
So as a result of that, it also, be cut short, but we still do a maximum duration of 12 months.
Okay.
So that we can give people more room for flexibility. So the first 6 months is interest free. So if you are interested in 6 months payment plan, you get to enjoy 0 interest.
Okay.
However, if you go in for a 9 month plan, there's an addition of 2 million naira. Then if you are going for a 12 month plan, an addition of a total of 3 million naira. So, and also this area has a governor's consent and we have our building approval file number. And
Great.
all this you can actually fact check. You don't need to take my word for it.
Then the initial deposit,
The initial deposit for the 2 bedroom is about 15 million naira now.
15 million naira.
Yeah,
Okay.
while for the 3 bedroom is 20 million naira as of today.
So 15, 20 million, then you can spread your
You
payment
can
for
spread
12
your payment
months.
for a maximum duration of 12 months,
Okay.
as the case may be.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, and it's going to be top notch. Actually, this is the only apartment in the whole of Chevron that is actually promising a rooftop pool and a rooftop lounge. So it's going to make it the most sought after. In fact, the estate management are already wanting to partner with us because it's exclusive. But after discussing with our first set of subscribers, like, nope, stay in your estate, we stay in our apartment. So it's exclusive. It's only for those who live here that can actually enjoy the amenities here. So you don't want to miss out. You don't need to go use the gym. You don't need to go swim elsewhere within your apartment. And we only have 11 units
Are we going to have
available.
a gym here too?
Yeah, we're going to have a gym on the ground floor.
Oh, nice.
By the left-hand side, that's where the gym is going to
gym,
be.
pool, lounge.
While the pool and lounge is going to be, the 4th floor is an open roof. So that space is going to be for the swimming pool and a lounge as well.
That's nice. I think I want one for myself.
Yeah, I actually kept one for myself. And there's also an elevator, 2 staircases.
Really,
like,
really
for instance, now, here is broken into compartments. This area now, we only have 2 units here. Okay? It's divided into 2. So that's how it's going to be on each floor. Then the other side, 1 unit. So you that is going here, this floor, you that floor, or elevator. So it's not a case of face me, I slap you, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4 units. You barely actually know who your neighbor is with the way it's being designed. It's a 21st century modern apartment.
Fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
So do you have any final words for viewers, for anybody that is thinking about investing in this apartment?
Okay. So for people looking to invest in real estate, looking to own luxury apartments, I'll tell you for free that by the time we're done here, there's nothing that is going to beat it, okay? Because we believe so much in what we're doing here. Then you can fact check the construction company, Safe House Construction Company, also do some projects with the government. That's to tell you the quality of what they do. And all you need to do is just reach out to Best States, and Best States, we know them. They do not joke in terms of selling properties that are value to their clients. Even some of my projects, sorry, I can push this for you because it has no government title. That's to tell you that they do their due diligence before selling. So definitely you want to do business with them, and doing business with them, if you come to me directly, I will charge you more. Or you come through Best States, you definitely get a good discount. And do not delay when you see this video, because I'll tell you for free, we have few units left, and the inquiries that have been getting this 2025 has been massive, because we are the only company that is giving the best quality in terms of construction, and we are still selling at a ridiculous discounted price. So don't delay, contact Best States for more information on how you can key into this amazing project located in Chevron Drive, Lekki, Lagos. Thank you, and that'll be all from my end.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel.
It was very nice talking to you, sir.
Yes, same here. Nice having you.